The Delaware Department of Natural Resources and Environmental Control's Shoreline and Waterway Management section within the Division of Watershed Stewardship has been conducting waterway management operations since the 1970s, nearly 50 years. The State Dredge Program, a program that allows for dredging to be completed in-house by DNREC, was our initial and primary waterway management activity. However, we have expanded our operations to include navigational channel surveying and marking, removing hazards to navigation, macroalgae management and harvesting, and planning and coordinating contractual dredging projects in Delaware's publicly accessible, state-maintained waterways. Some projects include coordination with our federal partners, including the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and the U.S. Coast Guard. Let's take a look at each of these operations and the Shoreline and Waterway Management section's role in waterway management in Delaware. Dredging is the process of removing sediment and other material from the bottom of waterways to improve navigation. The dredging program in Delaware is unique because our section has the ability to conduct small-scale dredging operations in-house through the State Dredge Program, in addition to coordinating and planning large-scale contractual operations with outside contractors. Having an in-house dredge program allows for a more streamlined process because permit acquisition, operations, and sediment disposal can all be completed by our section's office staff and field crews. In-house dredging projects include the removal of sediment from public marina boat slips, maintaining the depth of public boat ramps, dredging state-owned ponds, and dredging smaller segments of channels. Commercial dredging companies work 7 days a week around the clock and use equipment designed for removing sizable quantities of sediment and pumping far distances for disposal. Because of this, contractual dredging is used for large-scale projects in Delaware. Permits are needed for both in-house and contractual projects. As part of the permitting process, projects are evaluated based on environmental assessments, including effects of dredging on fisheries, water quality, and the channel bottom environment. Additionally, sediment is tested before dredging to determine the grain size, color, and presence of any contaminants. This process helps determine where sediment can be placed after dredging. For example, if sediment is found to be coarse and sandy, it might be used for beach nourishment. We've been marking navigational channels in Delaware's inland bays since 1996. Our section has a cooperative agreement with the United States Coast Guard to establish aids to navigation in the state's inland bays channels not marked by the Coast Guard. We supplement Coast Guard markers with lighted buoys as well as PVC pipe day beacons. Currently, the section maintains 184 channel markers. Day beacons and buoys are checked before the start of each boating season and, if needed, replaced by the section's channel marking crew. Our staff on the channel marking crew are experts in working in tidal environments and using the equipment needed to place the markers. We own and maintain equipment including vessels, a hydraulic excavator, and a sectional barge, all of which are used to place the channel markers. This typically takes a 3 to 4 person team. You may have seen our survey vessel and survey crew out on the water here in Delaware. This 25-foot vessel is equipped with a GPS, a sonar system to measure the depth of channels, and software used for navigation, data collection, and processing. The sonar system on board essentially functions like a scientific version of fish finders you might have on your boat. The sonar emits sound waves into the water to measure depth. The time the sound signal takes to travel from the vessel to the channel bottom and back up to the sonar's receiver is used to derive depth measurements. The ship's position and motion are also incorporated and corrected when calculating the water depth. This survey data is used in a variety of ways. The surveys are used to determine locations to place channel markers to aid in navigation, locate and measure sediment shoals in waterways, and help with the design of dredging project plans and specifications. Our section has the capacity to operate 2 unique macroalgae harvesters. These harvesters have been operated by the dredge crews since 1997 in the inland bays on an as-needed basis. Harvesting has been carried out to manage large amounts of macroscopic algae located in nearshore areas. These are algae you can see with the human eye, such as sea lettuce. Our program aims to protect, preserve, and restore natural resources in Delaware waterways by removing the excess algae growth that can become an environmental concern. Our section coordinates with DNREC's Division of Fish and Wildlife when scheduling and planning harvesting to minimize potential bycatch of other organisms during operations. Harvesting submerged aquatic vegetation such as widgeon grass and eelgrass is avoided because these plants provide good nursery habitat for aquatic species and help stabilize sediments. Starting in 2008, We acquired a work barge, a hydraulic excavator, and support vessels to help keep the state's waterways open and safe. This equipment is used to remove hazards to navigation, such as abandoned vessels and derelict structures, from state-maintained, publicly accessible waterways. Derelict structures might include downed trees, shipwrecks, pilings, misplaced navigational aids, or large items of trash. If you are aware of a hazard to navigation in a Delaware waterway, please contact us. Thank you for your interest in Delaware's waterway management operations. DNREC's Shoreline and Waterway Management section is responsible for a variety of waterway management activities in Delaware's state-maintained waters. To recap, these include in-house dredging and facilitating contractual dredging projects, channel surveying, channel marking, macroalgae harvesting, and the removal of hazards to navigation. Questions and comments can be directed to the Shoreline and Waterway Management section by calling DNREC's Division of Watershed Stewardship at 302-739-9921.